runoff races in the Valley, among them the 449th District Court in Hidalgo County on the Democrat side. There is no Republican running, so the person chosen by the voters in late May was pretty much considered the judge coming into the 449th Court. One of the two candidates in Hidalgo County is Renee Betancourt. First of all, tell voters a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Renee Betancourt. I was born and raised in Edinburgh, Texas. I was born to two individuals who at the age of 15 and 16 got married. To this day, they're still migrant workers. My father owns his own watermelon packing shed. My mother travels up north with my father, makes food for the workers and the people that they bring. So I come from a very humble background. Even to this day, my parents still go out there, still work. Our family, our friends are full of individuals that we worked with in the fields, my brothers and myself. This is where we came from. We grew up in the east part of Edinburgh, where, it wasn't the best neighborhood in the city, but thankfully to my parents' upbringing of us, we were able to go out there and get educated. And now I'm coming back and hopefully to get back to my community and serving as the judge of the 449th District Court.
How did you receive your calling to enter law?
Well, being a child of a farm worker, I saw how there were so many injustices, from a simple contract that wasn't actually in writing, where my father wasn't getting paid what he actually did, the work that he did. My father's conversation to my mother was, well, we need a lawyer. So since a very young age, I thought, great, I want to be a lawyer to help my father. So I graduated from Edinburgh High School in 1999, top 5% of my class, went on to the University of Texas at Pan Am, which is now UTRGV, did my undergrad, what would take somebody 4 years, I did it in 2.5 years. And then I was very lucky to get into the University of Texas School of Law, which is one of the best law schools here in the United States. I finished in 2005 and got licensed. I've been a practicing lawyer for 10 years.
Okay. Tell me about the work that you currently do.
Currently, for the past 5 years, I've been representing school districts. I actually represent one of the largest school districts, not only in Hidalgo County, but as far as land-wise, here in the Rio Grande Valley. It is Edinburgh CISD. For the past 5 years, I've worked closely with teachers, superintendents, administrators in really addressing a lot of the issues that some of these kids go through on a daily basis, and of course doing all the other contract, personnel, employment issues. Representing school district, it allows you to kind of dive into different practices of law.
Tell me about the 449th Court, that's called the Juvenile Court in Hidalgo County. Tell me a bit about the cases that come to that court and why you're running for that court.
The Juvenile Court is a court where children ages 10 to 16, when they commit a criminal act, they come before this court. And the reason that I wanted to run for this court was, well, first of all, the current judge said he was no longer going to be running or campaigning. So at that point in time, due to my background working very closely with school districts, having that relationship with the school board members, not only that, but with administrators, teachers, I am pretty much in the trenches with them, understanding what issue these children are going through, what new drugs out there, what new issues these kids are dealing with on a daily basis. So with that background, and of course my background on representing, doing criminal law before I actually represented school districts, I thought, well, I would be a great fit to run for the 449th District Court. And not only that, Sergio, but also to help these kids. I believe that they need a judge who can sit on that bench and not just go through the process, but actually dive into their background, understand where they're coming from, understand what they're dealing with in the home, at school, and then address the act that they committed and see how we can help them. It's not about punishing them, it's about rehabilitating them. So that has always been my focus when I deal, even with the issues I deal with the school districts. And so I thought this is a great opportunity for me to not only give back to my community, but to really make a difference for these kids, actually have these kids think that there's somebody out there that cares.
Have you given some thought on the rehab side of it? What new program or new approach you could take?
Actually, in anything I do, and any work that's given to me, I work really hard. So when I stepped into this race, the first thing I did was I started researching. I found out that in Bexar County, Harris County, they actually have a drug court within the juvenile criminal system, within the juvenile court system. These counties are not any different than Hidalgo County. Yeah, maybe population-wise, but these kids deal with the same issues that our kids deal with. So in my mind, this court had been open for 8 years. Why haven't these programs been implemented? Why haven't these specialty courts actually been brought into the juvenile court system and actually been implemented to help these kids on the rehabilitation side? In running for the past 3 months at Hill, I found out so many resources that are out there, so many resources that have not even been utilized by the current court right now. So the sky's the limit right now with a lot of the issues. There's mental health issues with these kids that either the parents aren't educated on or they don't want to address. And so again, these are some of the programs that have been implemented in other counties. So my position is I want to go out there to those other counties and I want to learn and bring that type of system into Hidalgo County.
Would you say that the resources are already there, or would it require some attention from the state or county leadership to address these issues?
I think both. I think they're already there. They just haven't been utilized. And I think, of course, once someone gets a coherent plan, brings it to our public officials, I think they will reach out and help us with getting the resources that we need if we don't already have those resources. Unfortunately, I'm not in that court right now, so I don't know what the budget is or what I'm dealing with, because of course right now there's some news in that court as far as different fundings and so forth. So really, I think once I bring a plan of action to our public officials, who will not come up and help me when it has to deal with our children here in Hidalgo County?
There are various ancillary organizations that kind of feed into your court or come in and out of the court. Among them, for example, CASA and other organizations that deal with children all the time. What are some of the key organizations, aside from CASA, including CASA, that come to your mind that you could work closely with to try to address the problem at the ground level?
CASA is a wonderful example. Thank you for that. Estrella's House. Estrella's House does a remarkable job when it comes to bringing in those children, coming to find what's going on. And sexual cases are uprising in the juvenile court. I know that. I know that because I've been in there practicing before I stopped practicing criminal law. I knew that. And so CASA is one of those. There's so many. There's even Mothers Against Drunk Driving. These children are drunk driving. They're getting in a car even though they're not supposed to. They're underage. So there's a lot of programs that we can utilize to help these children, from rehabs to nonprofit organizations to profit organizations. They're out there, from drug advocacy centers to New Beginnings. There's a lot of different programs out there, a lot of different resources that I've spoken with and I've gone out there and reached out to and met with.
Yeah, one comes to mind is truancy programs at, for example, PSJA.
Well, let me give you another example. First Offender Program in La Joya ISD. Okay. David Torres and the chief of La Joya ISD have done a remarkable job in bringing this first-time offender program into La Joya ISD. This is a program where children commit an offense for the first time, and they go into this program, and they actually have some phases that they have to overcome. It's not simple. They don't just go and they take away the charge. They have to actually go through phases. The court hasn't been utilized in that regards. I want to be able to provide the resources that the court has, or some resources, to work together with these school districts. So with my relationship with the school districts right now, along with my knowledge of how the school districts work, and hopefully as a judge of the 449th, I want to work together with these big school districts. I think Edinburgh should incorporate one. I think McAllen should incorporate one. And I think they are. They're in the process. So who best but this court to help with some resources as well?
In a quick capsulation, what would you do different from the incumbent?
I'll work 8 hours. I'll work 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. I am not a stranger to hard work. I will go into that court. I will not keep a child waiting. I will not keep a parent waiting. I will not cancel court on any random day that I feel I need to cancel court. I will work. I will help the probation department actually allow them to supervise these children. I will go in there, roll up my sleeves, and do what I need to do in order to give every child an opportunity to become something and not actually go into the adult criminal system. So that's what I can tell the voters right now. But most importantly, I want to utilize some of these programs, some of these specialty courts. So I really want to go in there and do this. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to take work. I understand that, but I'm ready to do that, and I'm ready for the challenge, because this is not an opportunity. This is a responsibility for us.
And final thoughts, telling voters why they should support you for the 449th Court in Hidalgo County.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you to the voters out there. On March 1st, I was a top vote getter. So that wasn't done by me. That was done by the people of Hidalgo County. That told me that the people of Hidalgo County want change in the 449th. So thank you so much for that. It wasn't enough. I'm in a runoff. So now I'm pleading to the people of Hidalgo County, please go out and vote. May 16th through the 20th is early voting. May 24th is election day. I'm asking them to go out and vote, because we need to bring back this court. We need this court to be reborn again and help these children of Hidalgo County.
Renee Rodriguez Betancourt, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Sergio, for having us.
You bet.